Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up, Daniel, Natalie? What's up? Hey, Gabby, Mariah. Of course, you would sleep, Mariah. It wouldn't be right if Mariah wouldn't sleep, right? What's up, Benjamin? All right, all right. I typed in the assignment. We're looking at page 57, number one. All right. Cesar, what's up, buddy? All right. Hola, Juana. Benjamin. Good. You doing your packet? Good. Okay, cool. You can turn it in. Um, I think when we get back to school, or they might have you mail it back in. Darlene, did you make me a sandwich? Make me a sandwich too. I'm hungry too. Hey, Kayla. Hola, Miss Lino. All right. We're on page 57, number one. All right. What's up, Luis? Today is adding and subtracting fractions. Okay. As y'all can see, I need to go to the barber shop. I'm looking real bummy. I look like a homeless person. All right. What's up, Angel? All right. Make sure y'all hit the like button. All right. We're gonna give about one more minute. We're gonna get started, right? I'm not gonna hold you that much. Hola yourself. All right. Uh, we're gonna do adding and subtracting fractions today and tomorrow. All right. So you're not gonna have no homework uh unless we don't finish, but I doubt it. Oh, Jakayla, you're sick? Oh no. I hope you feel better. All right. Make sure you quarantine yourself. All right. Make sure you separate yourself from the rest of the family. Make sure you take plenty of fluids, drink plenty of water, or maybe orange juice, things that build up your immune system. It says they're talking about coronavirus. All right. What's up, Robert? All right. We got about 15 people. Pretty good. I'm gonna wait 15 more seconds, then I'm gonna get started. All right. This is number one on page 57. All right. I'm talking about Mr. Martin. All right. So if you got your book, all right. Natalie, turn the movie off and watch Mr. Traham. Okay. All right. Hola, Brianna. All right. All right. This is number one on page 57. All right. Mr. Martin went to the store to buy food for a cookout. He bought 4 and 5/6 pounds of chicken, 6 and 7/8 pounds of steak, and 3 1/4 pounds of sausage. He also bought 2.5 pounds of cheese. How many pounds of meat did Mr. Martin buy? All right. So Mr. Martin on his backyard, he's gonna have a barbecue, right? So he's finna have a barbecue, and he's buying different types of meat so he can barbecue, right? He got a chicken, he got steak, and he got sausage, right? He also got pounds of cheese, right? But the question is referring to how many pounds of meat did Mr. Martin buy, right? So automatically, I know that this is irrelevant. He also bought 2.5 pounds of cheese. That's irrelevant because I want to know how many pounds of meat, right, did Mr. Martin buy? All right. So um, if I want to take an estimate, then I can say 4 and 5 6. Well, 5 6 is almost 6 6, so that's almost the next hole. So this is close to the next hole, which is 5. So about 5 pounds of chicken. 7/8 is close to the next hole, so about 7 pounds of steak, and 1/4 is close to 0.4, so about 3 pounds of sausage. So that's about 5, 7, and 3. And I want to know how many pounds of meat. Well, all 3 of those are meat, so you have to add them all together, right? So that's about 5 plus 7, which is about 12, and 12 plus 3, which is about 15. So my answer is somewhere around 15, right? So all my answer choices are close to 15, right? Now, if I look at all my answer choices, they have a clue. Some of you don't have the book, so I'm going to go ahead and write the answer choices. All of my answer choices have the common denominator already in it. See, A says 11 and 17 over 24. B says 13 and 13 over 24. C says 14 and 23 over 24. And D, as in dog, says 17 and 11 over 24. So that lets you know the common denominator is 24 because all of them have 24. You can get that clue from the answer choice. All right. Now, my goal now is to change all of these into 24, and then I can add them. All right. So 4 and 5 6 plus 6 and 7 8 plus 3 and 1/4. All right. All of these need to turn into 24. All right. So 5 6 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 6 is 18, plus 6 is 24. So it'll stop right here. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 5 is 15, plus 5 is 20. So instead of 4 and 5 6, it's going to be 4 and 20 over 24. All right. So over here, I'm going to have 4 and 20 over 24. All right. Now I have 6 and 7 8. Well, I'm going to stretch this out. 8 plus 8 is 16. 16 plus 8 is 24. All right. 7 plus 7 is 14. Plus 7 is 21. So I'm going to use 21 over 24. So it's going to be 6 and 21 over 24. So I'm going to bring that over here. 6 and 21 over 24. All right. Now the last one is 3 and 1/4. All right. I'm going to skip count it out. 4 plus 4 is 8. Plus 4 is 12. Plus 4 is 16. plus 4 is 18. No, I'm sorry. 4, 8, 12, 16. 16 plus 4 is 20. 1/4, I'm going to use 6 over 24. All right? Now, I'm going to use 3 and 6 over 24. Now that all my numbers have a common denominator, now I can add. All right, I'm going to start with the fraction part first. 20 over 24 plus 21 over 24 is 41 over 24. And 41 over 24 plus 6 over 24 is 47 over 24. 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 3 is 13. All right, so far I have 13 and 47 over 24. All right, well, if I look at my answer choices, A is gone and B is gone because 13 over 24, I already have 47 over 24. All right, now if you look back at this, you have an improper fraction, right? Which means you have another whole inside the numerator, right? So because you have another whole inside the numerator, you're going to have to get it out, right? So that means that you have to take this 47 and take 24 pieces out to make another whole, right? So if I take 47 pieces and I take 24 out of it to make another whole, that means you're going to have 14 wholes. And after I take out these 24 pieces, then I have 7 minus 4 is 3, and 4 minus 2 is 2. I'm going to have 23 extra pieces. So I take that whole out, it becomes 14 wholes, and I have 23 pieces left over. 23 over 24. Which means the answer is C. All right? Any questions about this particular one? This is adding fractions with unlike denominators. All right? Thumbs up if you're good to go. All right? No questions? Good. All right, cool. I just typed in the we do. The we do is also on page 57, but it's number 4. All right? This was number 1 on page 57. All right? Now we're about to do number 4. All right? So give me a few seconds. I'm going to switch anchor charts. All right? Now, this is number 4 on that same page, on page 57. Okay? So, number 4 says Mrs. Tolliver's son Eric is 5 2/6 tall, and her daughter Jackie is 4 3/4 tall. How much taller is Eric than Jackie? All right, and based on by now, you know that it's asking you to compare Eric's height to Jackie's height. And it's asking you to find the difference between them. Because it's saying how much taller is Eric than Jackie. And since we're looking for the difference, we're subtracting. All right? So this is a subtracting problem. Okay? So the first thing we need to do is write the problem in subtracting form. All right? So we're going to write 5 and 2/6 minus 4 and 3/4. We're going to write that right in front of each other. So 5 and 2/6 minus 4 and 3/4. Again, overall, 5 and 2/6 is the bigger number. All right? So I already have people that are looking at answer choices. Right? And Natalie is good. Darling, let me help you out. Darling, you said B and D are out, and Natalie says C and D is out. All right. So let me tell you the difference. All right. I'll write the answer choices over here. Let me tell you the difference. So A says 7/12. B says 5/6. C says 1 and 5/12. And D says 1 and 1/2. All right. Let me tell you the difference. All right. Now, not Natalie, Darlene. Look at your work. You have 5 and 2/6 minus 4 and 3/4. The first thing you notice is they don't have the same denominator. They have different denominators. So right now, you can't really do much. All right. You can't really do much because they don't have the same denominator. But if you look at the answer choices, they have 12s, 6s, 12s, and halves, right? So I can skip count 6 plus 6, and I can equal 12. And I also can skip count 4 of 4 plus 4 is 8, plus another 4 is 12. That means the common denominator is probably 12, right? So if I skip count the numerators up, 2 plus 2 is 4. So instead of 2/6, I'm going to use 4/12, right? And 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9. That's 9/12, right? So I'm going to rewrite the problem out. So now instead of 5 and 2/6, I'm going to use 5 and 4/12. Then instead of 4 and 3/4, I'm going to use 4 and 9/12. All right. Now you're going to see the difference. If you look at the fractions, this is 5 and 4/12 minus 4 and 9/12. You don't have enough 12s. So what you're going to do? You're going to knock on Mr. One's door because you need to borrow. And after you borrow, this is going to become a 4, which means that my answer choice is not going to have any holes. Because once I borrow from that 5, it's going to become a 4. And 4 minus 4 is 0. It's no holes. So if you look at your answer choices, you can get rid of C and you can get rid of D. Because once you realize you have to borrow, there's not going to be any holes left after you borrow. All right? So now it's either A or B. So if I go back here, I borrow 1 from the 5, it became a 4. Now, the reason why I came over there to borrow in the first place is because I don't have enough 12s. So I'm going to take that one whole and I'm going to break it into 12 pieces. 12/12. That is the one whole that you borrow. right? So when you put this 12 over 12 with this 4 12s, when you put it together, now you have 4 wholes and 16 12s minus 4 wholes and 9 12s, and 16 12s minus 9 12s is 7 12, and 4 minus 4 is 0. So the answer is 8. All right. Thumbs up if you understand, or if you don't have any questions, you can draw the little. You can have the little red circle with the line going through, right? And if you have any questions, you can type it in. All right. I want you to remember, especially going into middle school, I want you to remember that once you borrow, you have to come back with what you bought, what you were supposed to be borrowing. So I went over there to borrow because I didn't have enough 12s. So when I borrowed that one whole, bringing it back as one whole not gonna help me. I need to bring it back as 12s because that's what I needed to borrow. So I needed to borrow 12s. So I turned that one whole into 12 12s because that's one whole. As long as you remember that, you'll be good on these questions. All right. And then the rest is just remember you put it with the 12s you already had. I already had 4 12s at home. I went next door and got a whole, which is 12 12s. So 12 12 plus 4 12. That's how I got 16 12. All right. The rest is just simple subtraction. All right. So what we're gonna do is, because I don't want to give you homework, we're gonna look at the rest of page 54. All right. 54. We already did number 1, and we already did number 4. So now we just got to do number 2 and number 3. All right. Um, we're easy. All right. For number 3, it says Amy is following 2 recipes. One recipe calls for 1/4 cup of butter, and the other calls for 1/2 cup of butter. Which model does not represent the total amount of butter Amy needs for both recipes? Right. So all the answer choices are bar models, right? All of them are rectangles. They have bars, right? They all partition. So all you have to do is look for 1/4 on one of the numbers and 1/2 on the other one. And each one of them will have 1/4 and 1/2, except for one of them. You're looking for the one that does not have it. All right. So if you look at A has 1/2 and it has 1/4. So you know A is wrong because I'm looking for which one does not have it. Right? If you look at B has 1/2 right here and it has 1/4 right there. So B is also wrong. I'm looking for which one does not have it. All right. If you look at D as in dog, D has 1/2, the bottom half, and it has the first 4. All right. So the one that does not have it is C. C has 1/2, but it doesn't have 1/4. That's another half. So the answer is C. All right. So that's number 3. And then we just have to do number 2 and we'll be done. I know you got to go, Benjamin. It's okay. If you have to go, that's go ahead. You can just watch the rest when you back. But we did number 1, and then we just did number 3. So now we just have to do number 2. All right. Number 2 says, for those of you who don't have your book, all right, number 2, the windows on the first floor of a building are each 3 1/2 yards wide. The windows on the second floor are each 1 7/9 yards wide. How much wider are the windows on the first floor than on the second floor? All right. So it's asking you to compare the size windows. It's asking you to find the difference between the size windows. All right. So number two, what type of problem is asking you to compare the two different windows? Is that adding or is that subtracting? Type it in. All right. Natalie says subtracting. Daniel says subtracting. Angel says subtracting. All right, good. All right. Subtracting. All right. So I'm gonna just raise up this anchor chart, and I'm gonna just write on this one. All right. So if the window on the first floor is 3.5, right? And the windows on the second floor are 1 7/9. And it's asking you to subtract them because it is asking you for the difference, right? Now, my answer choices are A, B, C, and D. My answer choices are 1 13/18, 1 6/7, 2 13/18, and 2 6/7. All right. Now, I know it's not D. D says 2 6/7. Well, 3 minus 1 is 2, and 7/9 minus 1/2. 7 minus 1 is 6, and 9 minus 2 is 7. I know D is not the answer. They didn't find no common denominators, right? And 7 minus 1 is 6. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So I know anything with 6/7 is wrong. So I know B is wrong as well. Yep. Because in order to get 6/7, all you did was 7/9 minus 1/2. 7 minus 1 is 6. 9 minus 2 is 7. So if you got 6/7 in the answer, I know you didn't do it right. You didn't find the common denominator, right? So you're left with 1 13/18 or 2 13/18, right? Now, what that tells me is my common denominator is 18, right? So I'm going to change both fractions to a common denominator of 18, right? So if I skip count, 9 plus 9 is 18, and 7 plus 7 is 14. So this becomes 1 14/18. Now I just got to find the fraction that goes with the 3. All right. So 1/2, I know that 1/2, half of 18 is 9. So 1/2, eventually, if you skip count all of them out, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, you're going to skip count 9 times because 9 is 1/2 of 18. So I'm going to use 3 and 9/18. Now I can subtract because now I have 18. But now 9/18 cannot subtract 14/18 from it. You would have to borrow from the 3. It's going to become a 2, which makes the answer A. Because I got to borrow, the 3 becomes a 2, and 2 minus 1 will be 1. So you automatically know the answer is A and not B. All right? Now, to finish it up, after you borrow from the 3, it becomes a 2. Now, you got to turn that one whole that you borrow into 18, because the reason why you borrow is because you didn't have enough 18. So I'm going to turn that one whole into 18 over 18. And I'm going to add it to the 9/18 I already had. 9 plus 18 is 27. So that'll give me 2 and 27/18 minus 1 and 14/18. So 27/18 minus 14/18 is 13/18. So that's how I got 2 minus 1 is 1. So this is how I got 1 and 13/18, which is the same thing as that. Right? Dab on them. Right? So good. So this was page 57. All right? That was number 2 on page 57. So I didn't really want to give you guys homework today. So we just went over all the questions. All right? So just make sure you guys have done the work for today, okay? Again, just to let y'all know, it's some schools in Florida that said they're gonna open up in May. So we still paying attention to the news. We still watching what the president gonna say. We watching what the governor of Texas gonna say. So I'm still trying to figure out, when we're gonna come back to school. But as soon as we come back, I'm gonna have y'all turn in the books, okay? Good. Oh, hey Marie, my baby is good. If you would, some of y'all who sent me y'all work on Instagram, I sent you a picture of my baby back. Right? So if you would have sent me your homework from yesterday, if you would have sent it to me on Instagram, I sent you a picture of my baby back. Right? So thank you for everybody. Everybody's like, oh, he's so cute and all that, blah, 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 blah. All right. So tomorrow we're going to do adding and subtracting fractions again. All right. We're going to do part 2. I agree with you, Jacayla. You saying I'm not watching the news because it gives people paranoid. You true. But I'm just watching it. I'm watching it so I can tell y'all updates. That's all. All right. Any questions for me? If you do have a question, you can type it in. It don't have to be about math. It can be about anything. If you don't have any questions, you can put the circle with the line drawn through it for no questions. All right. Daniel says he good. How is my wife? My wife is good, Natalie. She's upstairs resting. Her and the baby. She had surgery. So she's good. Can you send a picture of your new baby? If you send me your homework from yesterday on Instagram, I already sent you a picture. This is him. You see? That's a picture. All right. You see? He got a whole bunch of hair. He got more hair than his daddy. See? Right? It says little brother on his shirt. All right. But yeah, they upstairs sleep. This is online lesson 13. So A Marie, if you go back and look at online lesson 12, it has the homework in it. So go back and look at the lesson from yesterday, which is 12. All right. We good? Yeah, he looks like me, and he looks like Austin too. He looks just like Austin when Austin was little. All right. Well, I love y'all. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go try to cook some food for my wife, so whenever she wake up, she won't be hungry. All right. But I love y'all. Right? Peace.